So now let's talk about the senior fitness test, which we'll practice the test today in our lab. So it was developed on over 7,000 senior adults from age 60 to 94 with an emphasis on functional fitness. So these type of results can give you an indicator, just like with anybody else, of where somebody really needs to focus their exercise programming. So, to bring them up. The advantage of the senior fitness test is it doesn't take a whole lot of time, maybe 30 minutes per person at the most. So compared to a traditional fitness test, if you were doing a mile walk test and muscular fitness and flexibility and body comp, it might take you an hour. The senior fitness test might take about 30 minutes. You also don't need a lot of space either. So if you're in a senior adult, an independent living facility like Westminster Towers, you don't have to have, a facility like the West Center in order to do the test. You can even do some of the tests, like the walk test down a hallway if you've got a hallway that doesn't have a lot of traffic. So you can purchase the kit. It comes with the testing manual. It comes with a DVD to demonstrate the test, and it gives you the scoring forms and the scoring norms. And I've got the norms, the forms posted on Blackboard. The norms are actually in your book. So you can purchase this, and I would really recommend it if you're going to work in a senior adult population. So here are the items that we're going to do. And I'm not sure not everything's in this PowerPoint. I think the very bottom might be cut off. But the 6-minute walk test or the 2-minute step test. So we'll probably have time to do both of those. So it's very easy to do for your aerobic endurance, your cardiorespiratory endurance. The chair stand, how many, or sometimes it's called the sit to stand. So how many times do they go from sit to stand? An arm curl for 30 seconds with either a 5-pound dumbbell for women or an 8-pound dumbbell for men. A chair, so a modified sit and reach test for flexibility using a ruler. The back scratch test, so upper body to have them, work each side of their shoulder behind their back. The 8-foot timed up and go, which is a measure of agility. And then the height and weight, of course, body composition. So we'll typically start off with body composition. What can we do if we find somebody is a little low on some of these measures? Well, what do we want to do? We want to improve their muscle strength, because if they don't have strength, that's really going to impact their ability to remain independent. It's going to impact their ADLs as well as their IADLs. So we do want endurance. Endurance is important, that people are able to walk and they're able to do, say, their grocery shopping and have enough endurance to do that. But if they don't have strength, that's really going to keep them from being independent. You want to get their physical activity, their energy expenditure, especially if they are a person who has some body weight concerns, and you want to obviously keep their balance. So doing balance training is going to be very important, and we'll talk about that in the next class. As you know, people as they get older, they tend to get less and less active, but it does vary among individuals. As we talked very early in the semester, what is someone's biological and physiological age versus their chronological age? Social norms may prevent progress. So just like anything else, if someone's friends are all inactive and all their activities are sedentary, they're going to be increased risk of being sedentary. If they have friends that like to walk and like to go to water aerobics, then they're probably going to be active as well. Some older adults have difficulty, they feel that they're losing control over their health, or they're very uncomfortable with the aging process, and they are uncomfortable with changes that are going on in their body because they know that maybe it takes them longer to recover from exercise, or things are a little physically harder than what they used to be. And although we've not really had too many problems with the students being accepted by the older adults, in fact, they really love them. It's quite the opposite, but you have to keep some things in mind and just be very respectful with them. Realize they may be from a different generation. They may view things a little bit more differently than you. You know, always check about how, you know, to address them. You know, you don't want to call somebody by their first name when they would, you know, prefer to be addressed as, you know, Mr. Williams or Mrs. Johnson. So you always want to check with them because, you know, that really, talk about their ability to manage stress, they really don't like that. But so you do want to check if it's okay to call them by their first name, or they prefer to be addressed as Mr., Ms., or Mrs. So, you know, understand some of the basic physiological changes with aging. Have a grasp on what the current data are on older adults and how this population is increasing and what this really means as far as the big picture. You know, most of the adults we're going to be testing, the senior adults, we're going to be focusing on functional fitness, but there is going to be that small subset who are going to be extremely active and who are going to be interested more in performance and health-related fitness than the independents. Know the components of the senior fitness test. Know, you know, that our main goal for a lot of adults is improved daily function and keeping them independent. And so if you look at the question, you know, see if you can remember which is a component of the senior fitness test. So it's only one of these.